Hey friends, happy Saturday. Philip Bateman here from Bravo Charlie, and I wanted to share with you overcoming the noise, defeating the lizard brain. I've had a really interesting morning with somebody where she was basically, getting the self-resolve needed to get her story out there and to break through the noise internally that was stopping her putting herself forwards. And used a whole different sort of set of skills from, we were outside jumping up and down in the backyard doing dramatization, doing, speaking really softly, speaking really to get that level of enthusiasm and then to bring it down to sort of a midpoint. So to set the parameters of the performance, if you will, and then going through many rehearsals, just giving ourselves the freedom to say, the first one doesn't have to be right. We're going to do this 10 times, and the one in the middle, that might be all right. And starting fast and quick with energy and really getting that message out there. And I pulled up content where from 7 years ago, where I was sat under the Flinders Street Bridge, talking about the time for sharing content is upon us, and sort of looking at that and going, well, it's 7 years since then. Look at the date on this video, saying the same thing. It's the time, and the other thing I've been observing over this week has been really interesting. Had a wonderful meeting yesterday afternoon with a gentleman who's running a very successful company where he's put in a lot of time and a lot of years. And he was at the point of where we were talking about expansion and expansion capacities, and both conversations were around the one I had earlier this afternoon and the one yesterday and this whole week really, about what it takes to get to revenue, about having a sustainable product, having a product people are willing to buy, and putting it in a format they can purchase, and having that base, because when there's a new idea, what's your cash burn look like? When are you going to run out of money? You've got this great idea, but does anybody actually want it? Can you sell it? Have you got it in a format they can purchase from you? If you want to go off and change the world, somebody's got to pay the rent. So either you're doing something people are willing to pay for, or you're not, and you're going to run out of money and be destitute. And it ain't fun. It's really not fun. I mean, no matter what it looks like on Facebook, like I, struggle on a daily and a weekly basis to make sure that there's revenue coming in the door. I said earlier this afternoon, if I stop doing business development for a week or 2 weeks, I know in 4 months I'm going to have no work, because that's kind of my cycle. It's about 2.5 to 3 months to engage people, get the revenue in, or set the deal up, close the deal, have 6 or 7 touch points, get the money in the bank, start the work. It's it's a complex and a consistent thing that requires showing up every day. And until there's a recurring revenue model behind the business and happy people and people to deliver that service to them, so the systems and process in place, then it's not that stable. It's very unstable. So that's kind of the journey. But then contrasting that when levels of scale are achieved, as the gentleman I was speaking to yesterday, there's this beautiful thing where a lot of people I speak to, they're like, no, I don't want to spend more money, I want to spend less money. And this gentleman's like, I want to spend more money, I want to put more into this because his team's good, his system's good, his platform's good, his customers need what he's got. So he's scaling, and he's scaling quickly and rapidly. And, that's kind of the joy of the journey. So, I hope these have given you a few points of insight, and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.